All right, we locked and loaded.
We'll have to get up early on Saturday.
Huh?
Live on the 5.
Huh?
We'll have to get up early on Saturday.
Say,
I gotta go get my touch up first. My hair can't be like this for Mother's Day.
oh my God.
Well, I mean, mommy does even later.
Exactly. Why you always co-signing your mom's shit?
Because we're girls, we understand each other.
And off.
I had to mute Rob, bro. His background too fucking loud. Remember rapping Duke, the high. You never thought the hip hop would take it this far. Run up from the World Trade. Week 13 it is. Week 13 it is. You know what we ain't did in a while? Fuck, we ain't go to the motherfucking stats, right? And go to the league career shit. I'm starting there. NFL. See from there. See what's going on. Alright, welcome to episode 5. Real Talk Show Season 3. Real Draft 6. We in year 3 of Real Draft. Right now, you know, we're going to go look at numbers. Very impressive numbers from quarterbacks right now that's still in the league. That's still active. How many of them that's still playing? When you look at the top 10, we're going to see if they got starting jobs in this league right now. At number 1, Mr. Sensei, Colin Murray. We have his coach on deck with us tonight. Colin Murray is the league's career passing leader in the league right now, all active quarterbacks remaining, with 76,138 passing yards, with 3,921 completions out of 5,727, 888 touchdowns. This man is close to 1,000 touchdowns, bro. Oh my God. 358 interceptions, 68% on his career, 388.5 yards a game, 124.7 QB rating on his career. When you look at the things Colin Murray did over, although it says 11 experience, is really 10, right? When we started the league, he was only 1 year in. Let me make sure that's true. See how many actual seasons.
2 years in. He's 2 years in.
2 years in already. Yes, sir. You're 100% right. 19, 20. Yep, 21. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 strong seasons. When you look at from 21, let's look at his impressive resume right now. In year 1, he threw 81 touchdowns. Year 2, he threw 106. Might be his best outing right here. 121.2, 8,061, 106 touchdowns. He followed that up with a 7,000-yard season, 92 touchdowns. Then he comes back with another 79-12 on yardage, but threw 408. At 25, 5,713. 26, 6,000. 6,500. 74. And 27, 28, 62. And last year he threw for 7,200, again 88 touchdowns. Now, for a quarterback to be flinging the ball around that much over a 10-year span, and the numbers he put up is ridiculous. First of all, we're looking at into his career, Colin Murray right now, and he's still playing at a high level in the league. When we start looking at stats and things like that, where he's at right now, he's still, you know, the best quarterback in the league. He's the standard right now when it comes down to throwing the football around the park. I told y'all his storyline when we first started the league. Peyton Manning was being the offensive coordinator. I'm surprised he hasn't stole that head coaching job yet. But he's the offensive coordinator, and you watch the maturation of him. You watched him in 2021 strictly being a pocket passing quarterback. I'm talking about in the pocket, 5-step, 3-step, 1-step drops, things like that, really scanning the field, learning how to play quarterback from the pocket through Peyton Manning's eyes. And then the very next year, they turned him loose and allowed him to be the athletic Colin Murray, along with the teachings of Peyton Manning how to throw the football from the pocket. So then you became real, very dangerous once he unlocked both. Once he had a season under Peyton Manning as a pocket passer, and then they let him be Colin Murray, the Colin Murray that we all came to love, to be the number one pick overall, the Oklahoma Colin Murray, the Heisman Trophy winning Colin Murray in season 22. And in that year, he unlocked everything in that year, which put him on a run of 4 Super Bowls. After that, when you're looking at a guy that you asking to be a surefire Hall of Famer, first ballot for sure, he's exactly that. It's gonna be very hard for quarterbacks to come in this league and really live up to what he's done and the resume that he's built going into the end of his career. But when you talk about dynamic quarterbacks and you talk about those guys, that are elite, as they get older, age starts to get in the way. So I would ask you, Falk, are you starting to see him slow down a little bit as far as the arm talent?
Yeah, he's definitely, he's not 25-year-old, 26-year-old Kyler. There's some throws that just not as crisp. He's still a dog, but as you get older, you lose certain aspects of your game, and some of his throws ain't what they used to be.
Now you have an offensive coordinator who went through exactly what you're saying he's kind of going through right now. Peyton Manning arm talent kind of like deteriorated as he got older, but he won 2 late Super Bowls. Do you envision that for him, and the fact that Peyton Manning's there to show him how to get through the loss of arm talent? You know what I'm saying? The velocity, the power, and throws and things like that. Is it something that he's going to be able to do as a quarterback to continue to give yourself a shot to win a Super Bowl, or is it something like where Peyton could rely on that defense and just play smart and became more of a game manager than
right. Well,
you know what I mean?
I think he still could take us to the promised land. I think it's just going to be a little scaled back. Instead of it being a 40-point game, it might be a 25-point game. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
And then the defense could take over from there. I just don't think he could carry the team like he used to.
No.
But I think he still got the skills to get us to the promised land and get us back to the bowl. And go out with a bang. That's the goal. Go out with a bang.
I mean, he's been a Pro Bowler all 10 years, 10 Pro Bowl appearances. I mean, Offensive Player of the Weeks. You got 2019 Offensive Rookie of the Year, 21 Best Quarterback, 22 Best Quarterback, 23 Best Quarterback, MVP in 24, Offensive Player of the Year in 24, Best Quarterback in 24 as well, Best Quarterback in 26, Offensive Player of the Year in 27, and Best Quarterback in 27, which is very impressive because that's 2 years removed from where we at right now, and he won, Best Player, Offensive Player of the Year in 27. 2 short years later, 28, 29, he had another one of those high production seasons with 7,227 yards. He brought in a rookie receiver that he seemed to find. He resetted that entire receiver room except for King James and Sheldon Ward. How's that transition been from? Because it seemed like his numbers is just as good as it's been throughout the entire duration of his career.
Yeah, I mean he went from 2 smaller receivers and Rondell Moore, who's 5'6", 5'8" with cleats on, and Isabella, who's really 5'9" with cleats on, to all his receivers is pretty much 6 foot and above. So
Is that by design though, with him slowing down arm talent and all that, getting guys that can go win some matchups, win 50-50s?
Get him some guys he can see better. He don't gotta be precise with the ball, and make it come down.
You sound a little muffled. Sound like close to the mic.
No, I'm sorry. I said it was definitely by design.
Okay.
It was set up that way to because he's getting older, his throws might not be as precise, and to give him some bigger targets. Whereas when he was younger, them little motherfuckers on a go.
All right, so when it's all said and done for Colin Murray, what do you want his story to sound like?
Just the greatest quarterback to lace him up. The greatest quarterback um, to ever, play the game. You know, um, I think he one more Super Bowl. I think that'll do it. I know Tom Brady got 7 or 8, whatever he got, but I don't think Tom Brady has done it has done it at this level. From the mud, shall I say? Someone could say he had the greatest coach ever. Colin Murray kind of did everything on his own, man, from the mud. So,
So are we discrediting the offensive coordinator Peyton Manning?
um, somewhat. Peyton Manning did his thing. He gave us some concepts, but I think Collar I think he's just a dog, man, special player. You know,
All right, so next on this list, Lamar Jackson's on this list at number 2. Some might say, as a Jaguar, he's having his best throwing year uh, in Jacksonville right now. The fact that he switched teams, he's on another team. Most of his career was Baltimore Ravens. This last 2 has been Jacksonville Jaguars. He's number 2 on this list, which is very impressive. I think 56,751 yards, 607 touchdowns. Uh, I mean, the guy, did win an MVP, and he's, still got time in his 12th season. Still got time with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hopefully to try to reach the promised land. He finished his career in Florida and Miami, where he's from in Florida. Uh, but he's still playing. Now, with that being said, both of these guys are still playing, so I think it'll be a 1-2 situation. It's some guys we're going to talk about on this list that Mike can catch. Maybe Lamar. Maybe I don't know about anybody catching Kyler Murray's numbers right now. Patrick Mahomes not playing anymore. Justin Fields is still playing. Fuck, give me your assessment of Justin Fields. It seemed like he's the Super Bowl winner. He's been consistent through his entire 9 seasons in Chicago. But why is he not talked about as the other top quarterbacks are?
I don't know. I think I think it's because he was so great with his legs that what he was as an arm talent was kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's just no real, like, you had the year he went to the Super Bowl with Allen Robinson as his number 1, and then after that they was almost like the New England Patriots. No real receiver names over there that was really that scared any defenses. And later in his career, he finally got a receiving core over there with him, and I think you still seeing him playing at a high level because of that. And they also started to rely on that run game a lot more in Chicago, but he's been quiet. So my question is he a first ballot Hall of Famer though, or is he going to get passed on and have to come back a year or 2 later to give him his jacket?
Right. No, I think he's first ballot.
I definitely agree with that, first
I
ballot.
think he's first ballot. I think the only thing he's missing is, a Lombardi. I mean, it looks like he might, he. I mean, the Jags are always contenders, so I won't say he might not get one, but that's the only thing he's
No,
missing.
no, 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 no. Justin Fields won. He won the first Super Bowl.
Oh, Justin Fields did one.
Yeah, yeah. Justin Fields won that first. He won the first Super Bowl.
I just think he gets forgotten, man. I think he's not flashy. He's not making Pro Bowls. Um,
As much as they win in Chicago, what is it though? They win in Chicago. They play deep in the playoffs.
They just win. They don't.
Yeah.
He doesn't throw 7 touchdowns in their wins.
Right. He just win ball.
You know
All
what I
right.
mean?
You're right. You're right. All right. So the predecessor of the quarterback that you just talked about amongst Colin Murray, when you mentioned in the best to ever do it, and Tom Brady, is Jerry Bradshaw. He's in season number 8 right now. 4th on this list as a passer. out of the four people that's in front of, or the three people that's in front of him, three are still playing.
Mm-hmm.
That puts him at number 5 on the list all time right now, and players that's still playing in their career stats with 44,079. Now he 8 years in, so he got plenty of more years left under his belt. Let's talk about the fact that this man's been 73% his entire career, and for the 425 touchdowns, he's still only at 116 interceptions right now. He goes year in year out where he barely throws 10 interceptions and gets sacked more than 10, 15 times a season. Um,
Right.
Is he a game manager? Is he a playmaker? What category would you put Jerry Bradshaw in?
I think he's graduated from being a game manager. I think his Super Bowl runs, which he's currently on, I think one of the last two. I think was times when the run game wasn't working,
Right,
and I think he
right.
carried him. So I think he's graduated. I think in maybe the first, what's his year 8? You said
This is year 8 for him. Yes.
maybe the first 5 years of his career, he was a game manager. I think these last two and this year, you've seen that he's more than that. You know what I mean? Like you've seen that he's a very elite, and he's not. I don't want to say. He might even be graduating from the system guy. I've seen him make clutch throws and clutch plays. Whether it's with his feet to buy more time. I mean, his line is like the best O line in the world when it comes to pass protected. You know what I mean? Like they don't really give up sacks, so that helps too. They keep you clean.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, man. I mean, I think he's graduated. I don't think he's a game manager no more, bro. I think he's a bona fide superstar quarterback.
Yeah, I think he definitely. You're 100% right. He graduated. I think his best trait is the. I don't want to say just take what he was given, because he'll throw the ball out of bounds. If he has to take the sack, he'll take the sack. Like he doesn't. He's probably the smartest quarterback in the league when it comes down to you know uh, either extending the play through to protect it, right, or giving up on a play and knowing the balance between the two. Uh,
Right.
like so, it's his IQ of understanding. All right, I'm giving up on this play. Live to play another down, which saves some momentum. It keeps his team always in control of what's going on the field versus playing under a whole lot of pressure. And no pun intended when I mean pressure, like not on the field pressure, but just pressure. Like the way he plays the game is almost like he keeps his guys in front of the sticks all the time because of the decision making. And so that's where I think, you saw it early, but now you see it because it's highlighted now because he did graduate from system quarterback or game manager to being able to be a
Yeah.
playmaker in the process of still being who he is. So I think that puts him in a unique category by himself as far as decision making. Um, so the next couple of quarterbacks we're going to talk about briefly, I would say careers ended a little short. Kellen Mond took his team to 2 Super Bowls, was replaced by DJ Ugalele, and the very next year replaced by Shador Sanders. Um, with a little left in the tank, right? 9 seasons in. He started to get hot at the latter part of his seasons, which was like the last 4 years, I would say. And then it's just boom, you're gone. No more NFL for you. Same thing with Dan Marino Jr., Jada Styles. Um,
Right.
those guys all made names in this league, and their seasons were cut short because of coaching decisions. So let's talk about that. Kellen Mond. Now that Shador Sanders, the quarterback, right move to make?
Yeah, I think so. I think Shador is just like a once in a generation quarterback if used properly. Um, so yeah, I definitely think it was the right move to make.
All right, so Dan Marino lost his job to a quarterback that no longer plays for this team. I would say, both these teams went in different directions once they changed that quarterback spot, right? So you start Denver Broncos. Once Kellen Mond was dethroned, the team was in. It was almost like it's perfect. I would say with the Broncos, they had a veteran football team. So at some phase of our league, he was gonna have to reset that roster and go through the things he's going through right now. And I think as a coach, smartly, he's doing it the right way. He's sacrificing games right now. He's playing his games, but he's not playing to win, to build this team back up quickly to win later on. So with Kellen Mond, he's not going to be a part of that plan. So which I understood. DJ Ogelele got drafted. Wasn't there a real guy? He gave him a year to see if it was him. He had an opportunity to get a better quarterback in Shedeur Sanders. He did exactly that. But when you look at the Dan Marino situation, then some could say Dan Marino was playing the best football and had that team, the Miami Dolphins, playing their best football. And his season, his career was cut short to change quarterbacks, from a guy that stood in the pocket and was one of the best passers in the league, top 5 every year, to going to a dual threat quarterback who did not fit their system whatsoever. They couldn't fuse the two. They couldn't fuse the guy that can run and move the pocket a little bit more than Dan Marino, and be able to add that type of style play where you're running your quarterback more to what they already was doing. And it didn't work. So that quarterback is now in Las Vegas, and they brought in another quarterback that was drafted by Las Vegas, but they bring in a guy that's Dan Marino, like another 6'6" guy in Jason Butterfield. Pocket passer, pure pocket passer, can move the pocket. If he had to roll out and move the pocket, he can. But I would say the Dolphins and the Broncos paths are two different paths. I think the Broncos were forced to be able to have to do what they're doing right now just to turn over that older roster. But the Dolphins were in their prime of Dan Marino and that team, and now they're in a situation now where the wins are not adding up right now, and they're trying to really fix this roster up. So I guess my quick question to you about that would be, did it start with them sitting Dan Marino?
Say the last part.
Their issues, the Dolphins' issues they having right now, did it start with them sitting Dan Marino?
Yeah, yeah. I think it started with, I think if you look at it, when they had Dan Marino, they were a perennial playoff team.
Yep.
Now they're struggling to win 8 games.
Another kid whose career cut short. I mean, even with King, when they brought King in, I thought they had something. I thought if they confused the fact that the offense that they already were running that had them elite in the league, and then being able to take Derek King, and use his legs as well, and put some like RPO and quarterback runs and things in that offense, I thought they would take their offense to another level. But it didn't work. It seemed like it just didn't work for him. It started when he had to replace his DBs. Yeah, that hurt him too. You're 100% right. Pretty on point. All right, so then Jada Styles, man. At one point, Jada Styles, even though the wins wasn't piling up, and the playoff appearances wasn't piling up, Jada Styles was actually the face of our league at one point. And it seemed like right after the Dolphins decided to go to a dual threat quarterback, faster guy, they did the same thing and drafted 2 quarterbacks in the same draft class a couple of drafts ago. I think at this point now, Khalid Williams, because you got 3 quarterbacks drafted from the Saints in the last 2 drafts. But I do think they're on the right pace with Khalid Williams. But Jada Styles, another quarterback that career stopped shorter than it should have. So any of my hosts that's on with me right now, I don't know why I didn't grab Hoodie and bring him over for this show. But anyway, for any of my hosts that's on right now that can answer this question, what does that say about the rest of the league to see not only one, we got Kellen Mond, Dan Marino, Jada Styles, all bench right now. Quarterbacks that won in this league, quarterbacks that had high success in this league, accolades, all sitting on benches right now, and nobody seen them as starters for their team. What does that say about the league?
Let's see. It really say I mean, I don't know the word exactly, but I know what you mean.
Right. Like, Like what are we looking at? What are guys deciding? You know what I think it is, Falk? I think it's a wave. And the wave is this. What is the end trend right now? All these coaches that actually can do it are getting new quarterbacks and things like that, and guys are just moving on too fast from their players.
Right.
And then once they're moved on from them, you still got the wave of guys rather go get brand new guys instead of getting these bona fide guys that can win them ball games and take them to a playoff because they've done it before. So we got quarterbacks that's getting phased out of the league and from their prime. Not like not like Colin Murray or Lamar Jackson or even how Patrick Mahomes kind of phased out because of age. They're not phased out the way because Father Time catching up to them. These guys got about four seasons strong in them, 5 seasons strong in them, and they'll never be
So can you
starters in
give me
this
an
league again.
example besides Marino?
Um, Example for guys that can still play in this league.
Yeah, like guys that got prematurely got rid of.
Jada Styles.
Okay, what about Manning from New York?
Another he ain't up. I couldn't see. He right here. He down here list. Elijah Manning should be on somebody's roster starting right now. I definitely think he literally had. I'm not even gonna say he had a bad season after a Super Bowl win. He threw more interceptions than he would like to have thrown after his Super Bowl win. And I think the Giants are in a aren't as strong as they was since Elijah Manning's been benched.
You think it's all just Elijah Manning, or they not drafting the same?
Say it again.
Do you think it's all Elijah Manning, or they're just not drafting the same players?
Nah, because they do it. See, the problem with them is they turn their roster over way too much. There's no real gel process there. They're always trading and moving pieces. But Elijah Manning was the glue to it. You gotta think it started with them changing their receivers before Elijah Manning. They started changing receivers like it was motherfucking their draws. Every day was a new receiver in there as the new guy. I mean, they still got a guy, Isaac Cannon, who could have been one of the best to ever walk the league at receiver at 6'6" with all that talent and speed, and he's kind of phased out of their offense right now. So I just think, with the Giants, it's just they got real itchy fingers. They like to move. They look at their roster and they want to make a change all the time. And I think out of all the quarterbacks we talking about, this guy was cut short after a Super Bowl. You gotta think about that. That's huge.
Yeah,
to really
that's
just
crazy.
move forward from him like fucking new quarterback after a Super Bowl. So if there's any of these guys that we could talk about now, with that being said, are the Giants still winning? Yeah. But when it comes down to the games that, they used to be able to go into, come on, we just had to pick the winner game, and 90% of the guys that picked didn't pick him to beat the Bucks.
Right.
Is that same attitude happening if Elijah Manning's still the quarterback?
No, I think it's less. I think more people would have picked him to win. I think it would have been like 50-50.
Yeah. So like they got a rebound from that. And the rebound ain't winning your division. The rebound ain't winning 10 to 12 games, 13 games a year. That ain't the rebound. The rebound is can you get back to the promised land? Can you win a game that win that game that we're saying you can't win right now? Can you win that game again? And are you going to be able to not get blown by because you're making all these moves and all these things going on with your roster? And are you going to get blown by the guys that you were starting to beat and competing with to the point where it had you feeling like any one of us was a 50-50 chance of you winning or losing? So I think this is the biggest handicap ever out of our entire leagues ever, where somebody got rid of a player and you really seeing the backfire of that shit right now. Again, it's hard to really assess it that way because he still wins at a high level. Right? Coaching wise, they got it. They know what they're doing. They're going to be able to pick themselves. But then it's when you get to the high level of winners, what's your percentage now since Elijah Manning has been gone?
Right.
And I think that's where he relies at with them. But yeah, he's a quarterback that honestly, if there's any quarterback right now that should be on a team starting, like think about this. How many teams right now that's in the league right now could win 5 more games just with Elijah Manning as their starting quarterback right now?
Man, it's a lot, bro. It's a lot.
So you got a whole bunch of quarterbacks that you know that we seeing like just phased out, right? And some of them was in their prime. But when we talk about the top of the totem pole, man, Colin Murray, Lamar Jackson, the guys that's up here, Fields, Bradshaw, those guys up that are up here that's still playing for their teams, are doing an excellent job, and they are the standard when it comes down to the passing game right now. Let's slide over here to the rushing game player career stats right now. All right, so we're starting to see Travis Etienne is no longer the starting full tailback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They moved on to Breece Hall. But 18,968. He's our career leading rusher right now. He broke Emmitt Smith's record last year. 232 touchdowns, 117 yards a game on his average right now. With that being said, at 18,000, let's just say right now he's not a full-time running back anymore. So as a starter, those numbers are not set in stone. You can give him a couple carries and still be 1,000-yard back if he wanted to. But I think he's phased out a little bit. You got Breece Hall up and coming back, they're ready to take over. Actually did. He's 1,000-yard back this year. But Travis Etienne, will he go down as not the league's best running back, but the league's rushing yard champion? Like, he broke Emmitt Smith's record, but he's sitting at 18,968 with Joey Cummins right behind him with 17,340. Quiet as kept, Casey Fields is behind that with 15,628. And then you got the young guys, 6 years in. Shit, even Lamar Jackson is on this list as a rusher. Hal Streets, you got these guys come up and coming. Let me ask you, does Joey Cummins beat the Travis Etienne's record in the next year or two?
I think he does.
Yeah, I think so too. When we talk about Travis Etienne, man, of all time, from Game of Thrones to where we are now in a real draft, is he the best running back that we had?
Joey Cummins?
Travis Etienne.
I think he's the most. He has the best longevity. But I think nobody did what like Ronald Jones did.
Right.
Or even Cummins. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it was other guys, that were good. But I think some of their stories still being written.
Yeah, but a guy like a Ronald Jones, man, he set the league on fire, but his career got cut short as well. So the next wave of guys, to me, are Joey Cummings. I mean, he's the legit one running back that's in Dallas right now, who's the starting running back, who is 95% of their offense right now. My thing is, does he reach 20,000 yards before his career is over with? Because he has 17,340 now. He'll be a 2,300-yard rusher before the season's over with, which will probably put him over top of Etienne and rushing yards to break that record. And then we're looking at another at least 2 seasons with him where he's going to be, in action, actively getting 25 to 30 carries a game.
Yeah,
I called him the best running back last year. I called him the best running back in the league last year. Has anything happened this year to dethrone him from that conversation as best running back in the league right now that we have? Or are we ignoring guys? That's a good question, right? Because you got Jaleel Ruggs, who's 3-time MVP. Don't nobody score more touchdowns than him, man. This kid only in year 4, and he got 233 touchdowns over Travis Etienne, who's in year 9. Think about that. I don't think nobody's averaging on per game more yards than him, 145.7. Through 4 years. I mean, Jaleel Ruggs has another 5 years in him where if anybody's going to shatter Etienne and Cummins' record is this kid right here. So when we talk about best running backs, we're definitely never going to exclude him out of that category. You know what my problem with him is? Is it me or lately he's been showing a durability problem, man? He's been hurt for the last 3 seasons.
Right. Yeah.
And the numbers are still extraordinary. Touchdowns, yards, all that's still extraordinary. He's been missing 5 games a year, 4 games a year for the last 2 to 3 seasons. Um, is that a concern? Should the Bucks be invested in another running back?
Uh, I mean, this is twice now he's been hurt for long stretches during the season, so maybe.
When you look at Casey Fields for Baltimore, his average is 7.3 yards a pop, 169 touchdowns. What held him back from being talked about as the best running back in the league?
I think the system, man.
Hmm.
And I don't even know if it's a factual assessment. I just think people just, tie that to the system. So, they don't really give they don't really look at it as, nah, he's just nice. Talking about Ruggs, they just look at it, it's the system. You cheat the pass, the run. You know what I mean? You cheat the run. We got to, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I think
Is this why you saying Ruggs is not considered the best?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think people just look
Ruggs,
at it.
This is Ruggs. This is Ruggs in a nutshell. Ruggs is, he's no longer. Let's just keep it 100. He's no longer the driving force behind a Tampa Bay Buccaneers' success for winning at all. Like Ruggs can get taken out of a game and be held, not shut down, but controlled to
Right.
where you can't win the game with Ruggs right now. And the Bucks are winning the game with Jerry Bradshaw's their guy. Period. 99 reasons is 99 reasons. We know who he is, but it's the Jerry Bradshaw show. And I think with Cummings and even with ETN, if they wasn't successful, they wasn't winning the ball game,
Right.
right? Again, Casey Fields came into the league literally talked about by everybody that was watching or planning. It's the fucking scariest back in the league. What was the driving force behind his the slowdown on him, as far as have an opportunity to be the best running back in the league? Was it a system thing? Was it was it coaching? Was it Baltimore's fault for kind of, when you look back on his career, is he a Hall of Famer? I would say yes, but he could have been the best, Casey Fields, in my opinion. And it just didn't happen. You're looking at, he's on the list right now. We'll go back to the yards to see where he's at right now for far as ball carries. Number 3 in rushing right now on the list, but longevity, 8 years in. So he got more seasons in than a couple of these guys that we're going to talk about coming out of fact. But look, Casey Fields being the number 1 running back on that team, Lamar Jackson is 5th on this list right now in rushing yards, and that's due to Baltimore's Lamar, not the Jacksonville Jaguars, 2 seasons with him. I think the more Lamar was the 1,000-yard running back, that stopped Casey Fields from being a 3,000-yard running back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think like the scheme and system stopped him from being that guy that makes you not talk about ETN, Cummins, or even Ruggs as the best running back in the league. If he's utilized the way those guys were utilized, I don't think there's a question that you wouldn't have to put him in that conversation. Is he in that conversation still? I don't think so. I don't think he's looked at as the best running back in the league. We got up and coming guys, 6 years in, Tremaine Bass. Let's talk about the story of him. Is he a dog at running back, or is it just he's the guy that gets the football? I mean, he comes out of game with 50 carries, bro. At any moment, he can go game in, game out with 50 with no putt. Are we looking at the running back as he's good? He's a great back, or are we looking at the production and how much he's used, and ignoring the fact that he's a great running back?
I think a little bit of both.
No doubt. So as I go down this list, when we talk about some running backs, just why and why not? Why is Howard Streets not being talked about still as the best running back in the league, or in there as that top three running back in the league anymore? Is it because the Panthers aren't winning ball games, or not even say winning ball games because they were a playoff team last year? What's holding Howard Streets back from being being a dominant back, considering he touches the ball like Tremaine Bass in their offense? He is their offense. But what's the holdback?
Oh,
6 years in. This is another guy that got 4 seasons strong left with him. Some of these guys' names is going to be up here because of the years they've been in the league, like a Joey Adaya, Antonio Gibson, who got moved to fullback. Deion McCoy, the big back for the Atlanta Falcons. This is the last back I'm going to talk about before I talk positive. Was this a waste of talent at 6'2", 240 pounds?
yo, bro.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hold on, my bad. Mike fell out. Say that last part again.
Deion McCoy. This was the first back to come in the league as big as he was, outside of the kid out in Tennessee. This was the next one. Deion McCoy, 6'2", 240 pounds. Average
Okay.
4.8. My question is, was it just he just went to the wrong system with Coach 404?
Yeah, I think he definitely was underutilized. Um, and I think honestly it's too late to really bring him out.
Yeah.
But if anybody could do it, the new, shout out to T for coming back. I think he could do it, but I don't know if he want to do it.
Nah,
From what
not
I'm
with B.
hearing.
John Robinson over there. And that passing game they got going on right now, because they brought an 8-year receiver in the mix, and he the best receiver in the league for our stat wise right now in 5-6 games.
Right? Yeah.
All right, here's the conversation. Hits Israel. Here's the thing. All right, year one, his name blew up on a season thing. From 18 games, this guy won MVP. At first rookie to win the MVP. Outstanding numbers, because what you saw in the run game, you also didn't realize you saw that in the passing game. He was the first back to go 2,000 and 1,000 yards receiving. To win that first rookie, not only the rookie of the year, he won the MVP of the league. Um, my thing is this: we didn't see a lot of production out of him as far as carries per game and all that. He was more, I guess it's your system, the system of your running back. You show what they can do, you build them into powerhouse monsters, and then you really let them get loose in the playoffs. It's almost a steady pace throughout the first 18 games. You just pace them, make sure they're mentioned. Barely have 140, 150 carries for 1,500 yards, and then you get in the playoffs, and it was like you gave them the ball 400 times all season long. You know what I mean? Like, do you think your system of not really wearing them down made them great in the playoffs? A guy like Hits Israel would be my first question, and then my second question would be: are we about to see a better Hits Israel because he's going to be used more in New England?
Right.
So the question is he going to be a better running back for the New England Patriots than you had him as a Cardinal?
Far, by far. I didn't value what I had. Um, I didn't value what I had in it. And, he came to my office and he said he needed to be more involved. He see guys scoring 40 touchdowns, 2,500 yards, and he's getting this little 1,500 yards on half their carries. He's averaging 8 yards a carry. But he wanted to be more. So we granted him a trade, and we felt Buffalo just exemplified what we wanted.
We know before it's all said and done, Jaleel Ruggs will knock down his team. Well, not teammate, but his knock down Ronald Jones's MVP run. He's already tied it. One more MVP, he shatters that. And we're looking at a guy with 233 touchdowns 4 years in. Before his career is over, are we looking at a guy that can have somewhere between 400 touchdowns? I mean, he's 4 years in. We're looking at another four for sure. Most of these
Yeah,
running backs on here got 8 years in right now. So if he get to 8 or 9, season 8 or 9, we're looking at, he's averaging down at 40 to 50 touchdowns a season. He had 21 right now, and he missed 5 games.
mm,
I mean, the way they use him, the kid has home run speed, right, where he can go 80 at any moment. But it seems like his production is from 20 yards in more than any running back in the league. He's more of a red zone threat
But well,
more than
that's
anything.
why they say it's the system.
Right.
Because the system is, let's say the 20 to the 20. Let Bradshaw get us down there,
Hmm.
and then once we're in there, to play it, conservative. That's when we'll give our running back the carries
Right.
to punch it in to bring
So
it home.
is so let me ask you this: is he the most clutch running back in the league?
Clutch.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
I mean, if you're a red zone threat the way he is there anybody more clutch
But
than him?
if is that clutch if you're up 50-10? You
Elaborate
know
on
what I'm
that.
saying? So if the score is 50-10, and then you get two late touchdowns to add to your total, it was that clutch, or is it clutch when game on the line and you the workhorse to win you the game? Like
All
that's
right.
clutch to me.
Okay. So then that's the question: is he a back that benefits from high scores and not stepping off the gas pedal, or is he clutch? Is he can he get in the red zone on the in big games and win ball games?
The person that's clutch on that offense and haven't played them is Bradshaw. Bradshaw's clutch.
I
That's
think
Bradshaw, but Bradshaw is that guy that makes it happen with the throws and the scoring. I think
I
Ruggs benefits just from. I think Ruggs benefits from Bradshaw. To be honest, I think he benefits from Bradshaw.
I mean I can see why you saying that, but I kind of disagree with you. I think he's the engine.
Who sets the table? Who sets the table?
Obviously, it's hard because I don't know. You got
Ruggs don't have big
it,
rushing numbers, bro. He has a lot of touchdowns. He doesn't have 250-yard games. He's had it, but it's not often. He might get a buck 30, you know, 15, 20 carries and 5 touchdowns.
my question is he's not asked to do that though, right? You would see if you go through his career early on, he did that, right? He was doing that. It didn't care. It didn't matter if he played a big game or a blowout game.
It
He was
wasn't. It
getting the
was. It was
football.
maybe that first season he was trying to get him nice, but after that he hasn't. Not he hasn't done it. It just hasn't been. It's Bradshaw that sets the table, and he just like he benefits off the red zone.
I played him in the Super Bowl, and Bradshaw Bradshaw played well in the game, but he won the game literally off of 4 yards, 3 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, four. Now he didn't score
But that
a
ain't
lot of
that's
touchdowns.
that's just the game plan, or that's play calling. That ain't. I mean, really, if we all could pick plays where we could get 2-3 yards a pop, right?
Hmm.
So I mean, do you really call? I mean, the average yards per carry in the NFL in real life is like 5.5 yards a carry is above, way above league average.
Right.
Somebody that's getting 3 yards a pop, that's like butt. So if he was doing that to you the whole way down the field, that was just him saying, you know what, I'm gonna play this way because I want to, ensure that I am successful in the game and the outcome of the game.
I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying my experience of planning. I've played games where if you take him out of the game and make him not the focal point of the game. I think you're right with Jerry Bradshaw, but we can't say ignore Jaleel Ruggs as being clutch in the red zone if we're just saying now Jerry Bradshaw is the guy, that guy, because we wasn't saying that. It was game manager,
Well, that's
scheme.
because we didn't really understand it. We had to really dive into it to really see. Like we knew they were good, but we didn't really dive in. We dived in and really saw. Like, hold on. Oh, that's what's happening. 20 to 20, the quarterback. Inside the 20 is the running back.
Do you think that takes away from the talent level he has, knowing that he came in the league as one of the fastest backs to come out of our draft and our common Game of Thrones draft period, right? And for him to be the guy that can go 60 or 70 yards at any moment on any carry, does that take away from him? The fact that we're saying he's pretty much 20 yards in, red zone and in, type back. He's so
Nah,
so.
I
Is he the
don't.
most dangerous back in the league though, red zone in? Or are you saying a lot of it's cleanup duty? Like I'm trying to figure out like we're
No, what I'm saying is the most dangerous black in the league is somebody that no matter where they're on the field, they score. Ruggs has that ability, but how he's utilized is
I get it. I get what you're
in
saying.
red
All
zone.
right, I understand that. I understand that 100%. Now, so that's why that goes into play. Why I'm saying a guy like Joey Cummins to me is the best running back in the league right now, right? Because of the usage and from where what he can do as far as what he does drive wise. I'm not saying Jaleel Ruggs is not a better running back than Joey Cummins or even Casey Fields or Hitch Israel or some of these top backs. What I'm saying is the production of Cummings right now. I mean, you line up and play the Cowboys, no matter who you are, you got to stop him. If you can't stop him, he's in the game. Whether he play a good game with you and lose it, or he beat you. But in his division alone, it's not a player in that division, coach or players on the field, that come into a Cowboy game worrying about anybody else but that running back,
And he still produced.
and he still produces.
Right.
If you really think about it, we got a lot of great running backs in this league, but great within their system or with the schemes of what they do or how they utilize, right? Um,
Right.
when it comes to accolades, there's none better than Jaleel Ruggs. When it comes to I can do what y'all can do without doing what y'all do, nobody's better than Hits Israel,
Right.
right? When it comes to the argument of pound for pound in between tackles, taking it to the crib, whatever the case may be, you could argue Casey Fields is one of the best running backs to walk our league. Um, so why aren't we seeing a bash in the streets like that when these guys year in and year out? I don't care if it's 300, 400 carries a year. They're 2,000-yard backs for the last 5 years, 4 years they've been playing with them. Why don't we see the same? Because if you think about Bass, you got to think of how the Cowboys use Cummings. When you think about streets, you got to think about how the Cowboys use Cummins. And we calling Cummins the best running back in the league. Why aren't we saying the same for Streets and Bass? Is it because they're not winning the ball games or playing in the playoffs as much as the Cowboys? Like, what takes us away from saying, well, if you're looking at production, these backs get the ball more than any backs in the league. These guys are not. If you look at how Streets, I guess I can ask a guy in his division this: is he 90 or 95% of their offense?
95.
Tremaine Bass, is he 95 or 99% of their offense? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Nigga,
99.
you know
100%.
what I mean? And then Joey Cummins, is he 90 or 95% of their offense?
Nigga, 98.
98. But there's that. I don't
Right.
know. Man.
Nigga,
Hey
98.
man.
We're listen, don't ever think I'm saying, and I'm not gonna go speak for Falk, but I think he would say the same thing, that we're saying because they're used a lot takes away from how great they are. But you can't argue this. If there is always an if factor in everything we talk about, right? If his Israel got the ball 300 times a year on his average, like do the average on his average per carry. If he got the ball 300 times a season, what happens?
I mean,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's a system thing as well with hits though as well, because it's like I don't believe if hits had to go against 7, 8 men lineups, I don't think he would be able to run like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think he would be successful at that. 99% of running backs that run for these yards is going against 8 people in the box, 7 people in the box. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all they do for is predominantly run. When hits runs, 80% of the time it's against nickel dime packages because you cannot cheat the run against them. You just can't. So I just feel like in every way, all of us got a system. You know what I'm saying? And the way he runs with hits. But what I will say is, since I played the Cardinals this year, not having hits is big because he couldn't get 1 yard a couple of times where it hits. That's an automatic first down. You know what I'm saying? So
I just think people ignore the fact that when you get rid of a player, and I think this is where Mac's problem falls in. When you get rid of a player and you bring in another player, let's go. You get a guy like Hits who established because you got to think about it. In year one, he was used. In year
hmm
one, I don't think he because he was successful that year. I think he ignored the actual struggles that he had where plays broke down or the blocking wasn't there as much as you know it would have been there for Tyson Williams, right? You ignore those things because you're still having fun. For example, with Jaleel Ruggs, you saw, damn, he can't break tackles or he can't close in the red zone. Like, damn, I was in there 4 times. I couldn't get in. You know what I mean? You saw that in the beginning stage. Well, that comes with putting a new player on the field. I don't think people realize how much your offense dumbs down the moment you go to a new player. So, for example, you sit down Dan Marino Jr. and bring in the other quarterback, you're going to go through a stretch of your line ain't blocking the same way no more, and your line never changes. It's the same offensive line. But the AI of the game picks up on that, so this rookie back is not getting the yards that a starting running back that been in your system for a while will get the yards. So, for example, he's playing with you got a new running back, Kamar Wheaton, who's going to be a fucking problem, right? Very much going to be a problem. Second, I would say third best running back that came out of our draft. And then you got Harris from Miami, same back that got to play in the playoffs, in a wild card game. He had a really outstanding game that way. Right now, when you're playing games, Falk, do you see a difference between playing Harris and Kamar?
Yeah, that's why Harris was my starter the last couple of weeks. Harris was my starter the last couple of weeks. I had to.
So guys don't realize that part of it. It's like when you play, and then if you playing a team that's already gelled, they've been together for years. You're not that rookie ain't going through too much of nothing. You got to do some spectacular shit. It's almost like playing a computer and running a football versus playing a user. When it comes down to putting new guys on the field, everything breaks down. You put a new receiver on the field, the block sheds happen a little faster. The quarterback's off a little bit. The offense ain't the same until that gel process comes. That's why I say you can't really phase out rookies until they get to week 8 or 9. Then you got the second part of the season where they're going to phase back out, which is playoffs. So right now, Malachi Wideman, let me ask you this. He's so successful right now. He's doing some things that, not too many rookie receivers came in to do. I mean, we seen it, but like he's putting up numbers that's outrageous right now, right? But how many in games have you played in this year where he's still having having a great day, but yet you're still complaining about the offense as a whole? You're getting sacked a little bit more. Kyler's throwing bad passes, things like that. How often does that happen?
I have been all the time.
How many times have you thought maybe it's because I got this rookie receiver on the field?
Oh yeah, that's what it is. I mean, that's what it was with Gilbert
Right.
last year. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
when
what
I
I'm
say
talking.
from the mud, that's what I mean. Like, in order to make a motherfucker great, you gotta struggle with him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you gotta struggle with him. You know, that shit can't be. Like it gotta be. It's gonna be some ups and downs with them. It's gonna be like some shit. But when they get built, boy, you know what I'm saying? Like you gonna see like
Right.
shit.
Right.
And
So,
then you just notice like you know that you actually like hits Israel. Like I enjoy seeing him with Nano, and the reason for that is because you gonna see what I made. You know what I'm saying? You gonna really see like that nigga a dog. Well, shit, I made him a dog. You feel me? Like
right.
I just couldn't do with him. Like I ain't that type of player. So
Right.
like me, I throw the ball like I always did that. Like I could have a 2,000 yard running back, but I ain't gonna do it often because that just ain't what I do.
So that goes back to what
So
Craig is saying, though, Falk. Let me ask you that: do you feel as though your success from running the footballs because people are scared of your pass more than they care? They respect your passing game more than they respect your run game. So do you think you get a lot of stolen yards off of formation. See, like it's a difference because you'll come out 3, 4 wide receivers, right? And on the instance, Craig's not. He's gonna come out and run formations. So does the run formation that Craig picked dictate the 8-man box, the 7-man box, versus you pitting on 4
I
with
think I
3
think I
receivers?
think I think about when it is though, because I think about like playoffs. Like playoffs in this I've never really thrown a ball around the park. Like playoffs, it was you knew where I was going. Well, playoff Williams, like
Yeah.
you knew where I was going. You know what I'm saying? Hits Israel playoffs, you knew where I was. Like that year he had 17 touchdowns in the playoffs, like all purpose punt returns, and you knew who was getting the ball, receiving. Like it didn't matter. So I think when it was, like I think about when it is, like like is some of it people play different defenses against me. Yeah, but people also know I ain't gonna do no 30 carries a game either. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I ain't never gonna do that. Like I don't care what it is. Like you might see 22, 23. You ain't gonna see 30. You ain't gonna see 35. Even when I was struggling with hits. So when I say from the mud, that was 25 carries and like 110 yards,
Okay.
3 touchdowns, week after week, till I built him. You know what I'm saying? Like, but now that he's built, now you about to see the greatness in him. Cause Nano, like, man, Nano, come on, Nano had some running back. He said that's the best running back he didn't have.
All right. It
I
took
did
him
that,
away
though.
from getting Travion Henderson.
Yeah,
He wanted him in that draft
I,
and
I
went
did
right
that.
away from
I
that.
did that.
Right.
A guy like Nano, he gonna make him great. You feel me? Like he's gonna make him like that. That's more impressive than anything I'm doing. Cause like you could see it. Like Hits was just sitting there waiting for the playoffs, or he'll get his little 1,500 yards on 190 carries, 8 yards a carry, 15 touchdowns. Was ass. That was like what that rank last. Remember, Ant? We used to look at that shit like,
He was last in the league 2 years in a row with carries, but was in the
yeah,
top
like
15 rushing, top 10 rushing.
so. Like for what he's doing now, Nano doing with it. That makes my day because I know I built the dog. You feel me? Like he don't got no weaknesses, none. Pass blocking, A1. Receiving, A1. Running, A1. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I did that though. It was meticulous. Like it wasn't just like stats. It was every week he would get upgrades. All right, power. All right, receiving. All right, elusive. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was a what you call them to it where now I'm missing that. I don't have that now. I gotta earn it again. It's gonna be a little tough, but
And so when you look at the rest of the league and you look at guys, all right, this is what I wanted to ask. This is the question I want to ask. There's no. All right, just because you just said that, I won't get my running back 30 carries. Fuck that. That's just me. I'm not going to do that. But is there something wrong with those that do?
no, it's not. It's no shot.
That's
It's
what I
no
wanted to get
shot.
clear. I want guys to
It's
understand
no
that.
shot. Listen, man. Listen. When I say certain things, is how you want to play the game. We were just talking about the YouTube shit, right? And I was talking to Max. Max like, yo, I got to lock in defensively. I gotta, you know what I mean? I was like, fuck that. Why? Like you sitting here creating shit and you creating it and you trying to be a purist and that ain't the game no more, man. I'm playing the Rams the other day and he's literally shank punting me on purpose to get the ball to bounce and hit one of my players. Cause it's like fire. Like if you ever play football, when you hear the term fire, you know what that means.
Yes,
On
sir.
special
Fire!
teams, right?
Get the fuck out the
You know
way.
what that means. So he basically like if you go on YouTube, you can see that's a fucking like not a glitch, but it's some YouTube shit. So it's like, man, why are we sitting here trying to be purists and try to really be, one of those people that just like, man, look, I just developed this shit and that shit nice. And when they ain't the game no more, man, motherfuckers going right on YouTube, they Googling it, meta blitz, best passing offense. You know what I'm saying? Like they YouTube it and then really video for step by step in the videos following that to the T. So somebody like Max, imagine if he added YouTube to his game. Fuck it. Imagine somebody like me, if I go in there and just take 10 videos and add that shit to my game. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. That's where it's at. So it ain't no shot at nobody when I say it. It's just for me. That's me. Like I ain't coming at nobody. Like however you play, however you win, you win. But for me, Man, I'm playing how these motherfuckers playing now, bro. Fuck it. You feel me? It ain't the soul is out the game, bro. It's over. Like YouTube fucked the game up. YouTube fucked the game up. So YouTube fucked the game up. It's like, why are you trying to fight? It's like the motherfuckers that was on dial up. Nah, man, stop being on dial up. Go get hardwired. Go get that modem, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop fighting it. AOL's dead, man. It's done. You know what I'm saying? Go get that Gmail. Go get that. You know what I'm saying? Go get that shit where everybody on it, man, and you find your own way. You know what I'm saying? But you sitting here getting lessons and trying to tighten up, man. Nah, fuck that. Go to YouTube. That's where everybody else. At least go to YouTube and figure out how to stop shit. You gonna at least see what the new schemes is. I'll play a motherfucker in the league, bro, no lie. And every time I play him, I get a different scheme. And you can tell it's a mini scheme. I ain't gonna say no names because that's what they do. But literally, every time I'm like, damn, that motherfucker was on YouTube. Because the mini scheme, you could tell. Play for play, adjustment for adjustment. I'm sitting here really developing shit, hot routing and trying to beat cover 2 and cover 3 and on defense. Oh yeah, let me try this blitz. Let me man up this person. Let me pick the safety here. Why?
Go listen to him if y'all want to, and go ahead and watch them YouTube shit and get 60
Man, go
put up
watch
on you still.
YouTube, man. Go ahead, man. Watch that YouTube, baby.
Because it's more than just watching it and copying and paste. Trust me, I'll tell you that.
Listen, man. Listen. Can't give up all the secrets, man. Go watch that YouTube, man. The league, man. Ain't no soul, man. And I'm saying, no soul, man. Any means. So fuck it. You know, like it's crazy when you in the game and you can tell when something happened, man, it's YouTube. And then when the game over and you literally just search it and that shit pop up, bro. That's just crazy. That's just crazy.
When we look at these receivers in their career stats right now, Jalen Waddle, still playing right now. They also drafted a receiver to replace this kid. But we're looking at a guy that's going to walk out of this league well above the next guys behind him. I think some of these guys are all going to walk out as well. So you're looking at Jalen Waddle with 21,409 receiving yards in his career in 9 years. The end of this year will complete his 10th season. 25.4 yards a pop, 131.3 yards a game, 254 touchdowns. How impressive is that?
Man, beyond impressive, man. It's just like, it's special because you know week in and week out, that's where he was going. One trick pony, crossing route shorty. You knew where he was going and he just did it week in and week out, man, for years, man. Like,
you couldn't stop that shit, really. He didn't start coming out of games where, you know, even right now, and I've only seen 2 teams shut him all the way the fuck down. And with that shutdown, still was kind of productive, just not Jalen Waddle productive. The hoodie coach Buffalo Bills and motherfucking Solo Savage for the Dallas Cowboys. 2 teams. Only 2 teams I've seen. I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched every game he played and all that, but Jalen Waddle has been the standard his entire 9 seasons. He walks out of here, in my opinion, the first ballot Hall of Famer, for sure.
Only thing he missing is a ring, man.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. Yep, 100% right. Only thing missing is a ring.
He by far. I mean, you know, it's impressive to see someone. I don't even want to call it dick rod.
But he from the mud too, bro. And knowing that he's the number
that's
one
what I'm saying.
from the fucking mud.
He from the mud, but it's impressive just to see like that was only his only guy. Like some guys got 2 guys, some guys got 3.
He tried to bring in receivers to get at. Imagine if he would have unlocked that, bro. Another 2 receivers that can do a Waddle. Imagine if he would have unlocked that.
But then that it took away from Waddle, though.
It would have, but if he unlocked that, would you sacrifice? But would you sacrifice that Waddle's numbers for a Super Bowl appearance? Another one? 2, maybe.
Well, I
The way
mean,
he was playing
look
at
at.
one point.
I mean, you got to that's what you got to ask yourself. That's a good question. Look at somebody like Rondell Moore and Isabella Award. You know, all top 10 in the stats, some top 5, and they got 4 rings. Or one of them could have been the guy and had everything.
Well, I say
And
that all the time when I got guys don't understand what I mean by Sheldon Ward, and it sound like I say he's not successful because you knew what the potential would be if he was the guy. He never really was the guy.
He was never my main weapon, but yet still he's
Produced like
definitely top 10.
everybody's number ones.
Yeah,
Like yeah.
he's top 10 in yards. He's top 5 in touchdowns, and he's never really been the guy. He was behind two other receivers for years that at least got 1,500 yards. But I mean, his first 3 years though, he had 20 plus touchdowns, 3,000 yards, 2,000 yards.
My thing is
Um,
My thing is Jalen Waddle though. You knew he was getting the football, and yet look at these numbers at the end of his career. It didn't matter. It did not matter for damn near 9 seasons. Who the fuck knew you could roll coverage to him? I think he slowed down a little bit when the league got faster. You know how it go. Get a couple
yeah,
years
well,
in,
yeah,
everybody
yeah.
running, linebackers running. You know what I mean?
It's like year one. It's like year one. Nobody really, and no disrespect to Hoodie, not Hoodie. D West.
Young D West.
Nobody really respects the nigga that won year one. Cause it's just like I blew up my team. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so it's like with him, it's like he came out and won it, but you don't, like you said, you don't talk about Justin Field, and that's really because it was year one he won.
I mean, we so far removed from that first Super Bowl, and I don't even think anybody even really. You're right. You're right. I think you gotta think about it. Impressive, like it gets harder as we create players each year in our draft because they get higher overall coming out faster, things like that. Now, Waddle first 5 years, he was remember this. If you play Waddle at your home field in the playoffs and they -5 you was losing to Waddle.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
remember it.
No,
I remember it. 6 seconds
uh,
left losing to Waddle. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, but then Waddle had to reinvent himself because you get to season 6, everybody waddles everywhere. Everybody. You got some linemen just as fast as him right now. Everywhere. And he still was impressive. He still was Waddle that whole time. So I think he did a hell of a job with a Jalen Waddle. He made him, made him the best.
yeah, hands
Made
down,
him the
man.
best.
Shout out to Waddle, bro.
Yes, sir.
Shout
Made
out.
him the best. And you're gonna see some names on here that, like a J. Jawan Hudson for the Saints. I always say it like this. This is not real life, but the stats that this receiver got to me is cleanup duty, game over. You know what I'm saying? Like in real life, like this would be like that's how they would talk about a J. Jawan Hudson. Like yeah, he was a dog, and then Shannon Sharp and homeboy, what's the boy he always be arguing with on the motherfucker
Skip.
shows? And Skip be talking, and Skip would be saying he's the best receiver to walk the planet, and Shannon would be like, but Skip, he was down 40 points in the third quarter
Every game.
every game. So his 600 yards, you know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect, but like that's how I perceive him. So I don't give him that same type of, for him to have second most yards in the league right now, standing as players that's active, I don't respect him that way. And the other part is he brought in every year he brought a new receiver on that team and did exactly what he did with Joe. Not exactly, but he put up. You gotta think once he got Joe Jawan Hudson and had that crazy year with him. The next 3 years he broke some type of record with that receiver, whether it was the most catches, the most touchdowns. He did something with the next receiver he brought in. Right now, Troy Franklin is J. Jawan Hudson for the Saints. Right now. I mean, we in week 13. He got 114 catches right now. So I just think that takes away from Juwan Hudson really being looked at as, that guy. Hollywood, I think Hollywood. How you feel about Hollywood?
He kind of get lost, man. He kind of get lost, bro. He was great,
Could have
but it's
been great.
almost like it's almost like you knew Rondell Moore and Isabella were dogs, right? Because they just
Hmm.
put up numbers, but you don't really like they don't stick out like Waddle. You know what I mean? Because it was just like they took away from each other. So it was like, in a sense, Brown and the other guys you had, kind of like it was like he had sneaky numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like they was great, all
Listen,
time great numbers, but it was like,
listen. He was doing. You can argue and say he was just as good as Waddle in his first 3 years in Baltimore.
no, I agree with that, but you don't remember it.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. You're
Like
right.
you
I
don't
agree. I
remember
agree.
it because it was like the team. Like he had great numbers, like my Cardinals team, man. Like nobody like DK Metcalf. That nigga was like a problem when Max got it. Remember? Like it
Yeah,
was like you remember that. Like nobody sat there and was like, yo, fucking Isabella, nigga, shit.
yeah.
They just
Nah.
knew it was just like, nah, it was Falk. It was Falk and what he did, and he got nice little fast receivers. Like them niggas is nice, but
All right.
it wasn't like Metcalf was like that nigga had like
He
niggas
had
playing
the
the corner.
whole division going to go get big corners and changing the way. You know what I mean? Like that's. I mean.
Remember
I
that one
mean.
game he played? Remember that one game Max got him and Hitter was doing some bullshit because he was just worried about. It was just like Max was like, all right, he gonna be a decoy.
Hmm.
Remember that shit?
Yep. Hitter was
And
running
Hitter was
by
doing
him the
some
whole time,
bullshit and Max was just throwing somewhere else.
throwing somewhere else, tearing his ass up. Yep. You're 100% right. But Marquise had, for a 4 year stretch, man. I mean, he arguably could have been one of the best receivers in the league too for
Yeah,
that 4 year
he
stretch,
was.
bro.
I think he was, bro. I think he was. I just think he just get lost, man. I think that you blew your team up so much
Yeah, that's the thing. Got rid of
that
guys
those
in
numbers,
their
and then
primes.
yeah, you blew your team up so much that people kind of forgot about
Right.
Marquise. And then when you just traded him, it was just kind of like he just went to the line, and he didn't die in the line. The Lions did some things with him, but I just think it wasn't like, oh my God, did you see Marquise?
Right.
Like we didn't have that. You know what I mean? Like the Cardinals didn't have that. He didn't have those wild moments. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think because of that, he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, through the first 6 seasons he was, and then the phase out kind of shut him down. I think he gets in because of the first 6 seasons, but I think he's not a first
I
sure
think
first
he, I
ballot.
think he, I think he's a first ballot man. He top five in every stat, bro. I mean, obviously not catches because we don't play that, but he top five in yards. He's not top five in yards, but he close. He like top eight, and then he like top five in touchdown.
When we're looking at yards right now, he's number 3 on the list in yards.
Well, he is. So see, I'm mistaken. So
Yep.
I think he top. I think he can get in first ballot, man. It might be questionable. Um,
179 touchdowns. Um. All right, and let's talk about the number 3 receiver for your team for the first. I would say for the first 6 seasons of his career.
yeah.
This was the longest time you took to get rid of guys. Like you usually are a step behind me with getting rid of guys. And you were successful in winning Super Bowls early, right? With a team that you kept together and jailed them guys together and played with them well in their 28, 29, 30 year olds years before you decided to reset this roster. And he came in. Listen, Sheldon Ward, for those that don't know, he's a name that Hitter made famous. Period. So
Yeah.
usually when we play Game of Thrones, I always bring back guys that names on guys that were made famous by coaches in our league. So the moment Sheldon Ward got drafted by you, the expectations was we about to see a guy get 3,000 yards, 40 touchdowns a year for the next 3 years. But your makeup wasn't that. Your makeup was different with Sheldon. So when I say he ain't that Sheldon that we expected, doesn't mean I'm downplaying what he's done over his career right
He's just
now.
not what Hitter did with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because that was Hitter's guy. He never really became your guy. Even now, he's still not your guy.
Nah, he just. I mean, what it is just honesty, man. I mean, you get to a certain level on the game and you just really like it don't even become a win and loss type thing with me. It become like what can I do with the guy stat wise and to play with like everybody's not on this receiving list, right?
Uh huh.
Yards. Like it's tough to get on there. Like that's a lot of years of playing with somebody, you know what I'm saying? And really doing that to get up on these, you know what I mean? So for me it's just like always trying to, like, all right, I got two people on the career defensive end list. I got one person on the sack list. I got, I got four players with 100 receiving touchdowns. Like that's this type of shit I play the game to push myself because you kind of it gets redundant after a while. Like you want to keep it fresh, you want to keep it interesting. And then like even like last year, like Gilbert, like all right, we get Gilbert. Like, all right, this year, boy from Tennessee, Dion boy coming out. All right, let's get him next. You got to find those things, man, because again, that should keep it fresh and fun. Um, but that's really why I held on to a lot of the players, man. Just to, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
Just
right,
so
right.
when we come back and do this type of talk, you really looking at it. You're like, all right, bottle
Well,
on
I
there.
think you made
Okay.
that decision when you knew we wasn't going to flip the league over, start a whole new league for real draft. I think once that happened, it was destined. Because I kind of was upset with myself for not keeping some guys, just to see at the end of when we're done playing this to see the numbers and where these guys
Yeah.
place at.
Like,
You
like,
know,
like, look at this, man. And again, I know I'm different. And again, people might say this motherfucker always talking about himself. But just think about this. I got three receivers with over 175 touchdowns. Just think about that.
with over what?
175 touchdowns, three
Yeah,
receivers.
yeah. Now that's different. Ain't no, that's different. That's very different. I would like to
That's my
see.
work. Like that's like Isabella ain't had no stats for I got him.
Right, right,
Rondell Moore ain't had no stats for I got him.
right.
Like that's my work. Like that's you know what I'm
And
saying.
then
Like a
Sheldon was
nigga like
drafted by you at 22, so that that's 9 seasons of his body of work too.
man,
Got him right here with 182 touchdowns and shit. This
like
next
like
guy, this next guy on the list is this the most dangerous weapon we've seen in our league? 99
who?
reasons.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
I mean, for a couple of seasons, Corey had a
I
tight end
I,
that
th-
everybody talked about, and
I
then
think I think
boof.
it was I think it was neck and neck. I think Corey tight end might have been a little faster, pitch faster. But you know how Corey would use him, man. It was just Corey always loved his tight ends. So
Right.
Corey and his tight ends, boy, that motherfucker. But then he started running, had him at up back, and
Yep. Full back,
he
all
was
type of shit.
running. And then I've never seen a tight end in an MVP race, never.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
So when it was a couple weeks, he had him up there for MVP. I'm like, oh shit. And then Corey kind of lost interest, but you look at somebody like Jenkins, man. Like I think they're the real reason why the Bucks have had success. They
I,
really just looked at it. You know what I'm saying? Like you could say the running, and people could say, oh well, yeah, they run the ball and 70 touchdowns.
man got 208 touchdowns fought from the tight end
And
position.
I think it's really Jenkins. If you had to look at it, it's really Jenkins is the reason why he had so much success.
And that the
He
credit him.
possibly should have more though. He
Yeah.
possibly that number possibly could be close to 280, 300 if they threw the ball more in red zone to the tight end. Just think about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Think
Nah,
about
you
all them
right.
seasons. Look, think about all them seasons Ronald Jones had, 50 touchdowns when he might have could have got 35 and Jenkins could have finished off the rest. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah. Nah, you
Jenkins
right.
possibly could have had 300 touchdowns, bro.
Right now.
But he did the work. He just ain't get rewarded sometimes down in the red zone.
I used to be like, guys got tight end numbers with their receivers and shit like that. Well, this guy
Nah,
got
he,
receiver
he got
numbers with his
receiver
tight
numbers.
end.
He got
21.4 yards a
receiver.
pop,
He got receiver
141 yards a
numbers.
game, bro.
He the opposite of that
Yes,
shit.
sir. Complete opposite of that. I mean, he dominates with him. He's still right now at this point in his career. He's still like fucking retarded, hard to
And he
stop.
got
You
to
got to
figure
scheme
something
around
out,
him.
man. He got to figure something out. He's 30, about to be 30. Got to figure something out.
Then you got Anthony Schwartz, in my opinion, who's been quietly just putting numbers up. He's the guy that you got to take a second look at. Like, wait, he did that. 151 catches, 15,000 yards. He actually did that. I don't see it. How did he do that? Like that's he still right now as much as he got a couple other guys that's legit. Tony Moody's the guy over there. Anthony Schwartz is still their number one receiver 9 years in. Um, we saw what Boone was doing with him before he gave the team up, and Junior came over, but Junior kept him in phase this entire time. And he's going to go down as one of the better receivers in this league as well, considering the numbers he's playing with right now. I mean, 15,000 yards, 20 yards a catch, especially for a speed demon like that. And he's not even a deep threat guy over there. Their offense ain't predicated on throwing the ball, down the field. And for him to continue to still have, huge numbers, 20.9 yards a pop and 151 touchdowns is solid as hell. All right, so Rondell Moore, we talked about him, while you was conversating. You talked about Rondell Moore. He's in Philadelphia right now, as one of the older receivers that still have an ability right now. Here you go. Here's my question. We know the accolades and what he did for you. When you traded him to the Eagles, what was your like? Because look, we don't trade nobody unless it's just like, oh man, I need me a higher draft pick. Well, you're not trading for a higher draft pick with the Eagles because they're usually a playoff team, right? So when you traded him to him, it was more almost like the Hitch Israel trade, right? Where it's like I know he gonna go there and still, be a dog.
He was a little bit older than Hicks. He
Right, I
probably
get
got
it.
traded at 28.
Yeah.
I just wanted him to really just continue to play and continue to add to the stats he already had.
Right.
So it was like, because it was just like, those guys, Fitzgerald and fuck back, they needed to get on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like it was time. So it was like, look.
But you kind of gave Rob a gem though, like in a sense of late games, playoffs, late situations. You got a guy that you can.
I think Rob is still, mastering that part. Like I think Rob is good at throwing the football, but I think pitting the guys in situations like moving them around, like
right.
Okay, this is gonna be my go-to receiver this route, and pitting them there. He still got some work to do in that area. So I think that's why we haven't seen it. The production that's there, but if utilized, he could be great still.
All right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna switch the tune up a little bit here, and I'm gonna leave career players. A lot of guys have been in the league. I want to talk about. We go over here just to right now to player stats for a second. Go back to the NFL. We're gonna go back to the quarterbacks in the league, and we'll start now. All right, so you got your Colin Murrays. We're gonna talk about some of the new quarterbacks in the league. Akil Glass, right? Weber. Ready? Now let's start here. Akil Glass. We're starting to see Corey. Corey has him another gunslinger. That he brought in off a trade from you and moved him into the starting role to get rid of Herbert. And 70% on the season right now. He's been at 386 yards passing. Is there a quarterback in the league better right now, better than Mike Weber? That's my question. And before we close this thing out, we have to talk about, to me, the most dangerous throwing quarterback in the league is Mike Weber. Right now.
I agree. I don't know what the motherfucker got on him. I don't know what that motherfucker's YouTube that he done watched.
Because you can't figure it out, so you gotta think it's anything. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know what the fuck he
Trust
did
me,
with
bro.
Mechanic wise, analog wise. I don't know what the fuck is he doing, but I've never seen a quarterback
with that type of touch, bro. With that type of, it doesn't matter if it's on the wrong foot fault. Listen, I had him sacked for a safety. He had literally inches of space on the sideline between being out of bounds and where he had to throw this football. And then he did it 3 drives straight. 3 drives straight to fucking. Listen, I watched the Super Bowl. I watched him throw dimes in the Super Bowl. Where how the fuck he made that throw? This is the only quarterback that I've ever in my Madden career seen make throws the way this guy make throws. It's almost like he has the touch, he has the power. It's everything he needs to throw the
Listen,
ball to
it
pit it
don't
where it goes.
matter. That motherfucker pitting that shit. Like it's like you ever had them Jones where you like, damn, I'm almost there. Every throw with that is you're almost there.
Yeah,
Or it ain't
almost
even
had
work.
it. Damn, almost was there. Yo, is this the right assessment? This is Steph Curry of the quarterback position in NFL.
I
This is the
agree.
Steph
I
Curry of
agree.
football. Right now, Steph Curry of
I
football.
agree, man. I mean,
I
I
never
was
seen nothing like this, bro, ever.
listen.
I asked him, yo, what you got on him? What's his name? Whatever he came with. This
I don't know
nigga said whatever he
I
came
don't know
with.
what YouTube video he didn't watch, but he got the mechanics down with that nigga. How he throw it, how he release it, his touch. It's something he got with that. That motherfucker there, that nigga special, bro. And ain't no really defense. Like listen, I'm playing cover 4. I'm playing cover 4, off coverage, over the top, outside. And a nigga still throws a fucking flag route dime in between the flat defender and the corner, bro. Like,
Yep.
can nobody else make that throw, bro?
Nah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Can
like
nobody else
best
make
touch
this
pass
throw,
score.
bro?
So what category do you put him in? Like what is he? Is the throws, bro? It's like, is it accuracy? Like what is it? Like it's. I mean, bro, you gotta go back to our game
It's
this
all that.
year.
It's touch. Like he got everything. He got touch, accuracy, and then it's like he got a gun too. But it's just
Yeah.
like his bombs. Like they like you remember Jeff Blake? A lot of people probably too young to remember him.
His shit used to go high as hell in the air.
Remember how Jake, his shit would drop like right in the bread
Yeah,
bucket. Like
every
he'd
time.
throw a high ass bomb to Carl Pickens and Darnay Scott. But all you'll see the ball will go off the screen, and the next thing you know, that shit just like drop down in a bucket.
right in
and
their
they running
bucket,
under
yep.
it. He got that, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
He got the Jeff Blake, bro. Like
Look, man, I'm telling you right now, go back to week 2 of me and his game and watch that game and watch the second half of that game and watch. I'm not going to say when I know exactly when it happened. All I'm going to say is go back, watch our second half, and there's 3 throws on there that you're going to come back to me and say, oh my God. And I'm daring anybody that's watching right now to go back, watch that game. And if you could pick those three throws I'm talking about off that game, I'm giving you a +4 speed on wherever you want. I don't give a fuck who it is, whoever you want. If you could pick those 3 plays, he threw. I'm not going. That's all I'm gonna say. I just never seen it. We created quarterbacks since Madden 17, bro. We've created the draft class. We created quarterbacks. I've never seen it. If he unlocks that Super Bowl and go watch some of those passes he made in that Super Bowl down the stretch, every time it looked like might get ugly now, or pull away, he just right back, just hit, boom, how he catch that or how he throw that. It's almost like the ball is in there. It's the release, but it's it's weird, bro. I don't know. I ain't never seen no game a game make like he just got, I don't know. I don't know. He's the best quarterback throwing the ball right now in our league that I've ever seen.
ever.
Ever. Ever.
I've
And
never
there's
had
no,
I don't
I'm
even
trying
play
to
with
tell
him,
you.
and I'm in awe.
Oh my God, bro. You came out of your game that you played him this year and was saying the same shit I've been saying for the last 3 times I had to play him. Like, yo, this shit don't make no sense, bro. This guy makes throws I've never seen before, bro. And it's like you can't mimic that shit, bro. It's like it's declare. It's the shell. He got a shell. He got a quarterback that came out with that shell, just that great shell, man. I don't know, because either he not don't want to tell me, and usually we talk, and when we do talk, he'll tell me shit like, yo, it was this play and I did this on it. So now I said, what the fuck do you got on your quarterbacks? Whatever he came on, Ant. Man, this shit crazy. That motherfucker make throws, bro. He make throws in tight windows and throw, like, I mean, how many times did you see in the Super Bowl this guy catching a toe tap swag on the sideline where you don't know how he fit that ball in there? Like, how the fuck you do that? But Rob got an up and comer, Darren Thomas. I think he's the next wave of quarterback. Shiloh Shadori a little too young right now. I do like Khalifa. What do you think about Bryce Young?
Um, I think he's there. I think he came in with a lot of expectations on him, and I don't know if he's handling it well. Um, I mean, I'm not going to get down on the Giants. They had a forced loss, and they got down early against me, and then, I'm not sure what happened with him in the Bucks game, but I think it's just growing pains.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've seen, I don't see. Honestly, I just think Elijah Manning was better. I don't see like that. I don't see that Weber in Bryce Young.
You just it's just you have me either. I haven't seen anything that make me be like, gotta worry about Bryce Young right now. Not yet. I mean, again, he's only 1 year in with him. His first year with the guy. Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to happen, because if you know who the coach is, and you should be respecting the fact that he'll figure it out and get it done. But just right now, it's just I'm still iffy on the move that was made. But again, I know he'll make it work. Flat out make it work over there. He's and you got to look at him as going to be one of those guys. You know who else that we got to talk about that got drafted by the Falcons and really just we didn't get to see him because the coach wasn't playing? C.J. Stroud with T now at the helm of C.J. Stroud right now. 71% this year in his first year as a being played with, because he started the year. I think he started last year. Matter of fact, I don't even think he played last year, bro. I don't think he played none of his rookies last year. Let's go look. Nope, he threw 29 yards last year, 2 interceptions. So his first year as a starter, we got another one of he was the #1 quarterback to come out of that draft last year, and now that T has him, we're going to see every bit of C.J. Stroud now. So when you look at the new wave of quarterbacks right now that's in the league, Glass, you got to look at him. Weber, Thomas, I would say Bryce Young. Mark Robinson, you just played tie with Mark Robinson. He's been 70% all year as well. Do he got something there with him?
Yeah, he's good. He's
All
good,
right.
man.
All right. Well, that's our show, man. When I come back tomorrow with the show, we're going to be talking about the playoffs and all that shit, because it's week 13. So we'll be talking about the playoff tree and all that shit. But we spent a lot of time trying to just give all a different show. Our show is always the award winners and who got the best records and blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to give us a different vibe tonight, late night. Those that stayed on with me, I appreciate y'all for watching that shit. Other than that, we out there.